Hello and welcome back to the Second Chance to Live channel here on YouTube. I'm happy to see that you decided to stop by to watch this video presentation. Thank you. In today's video presentation, I'm going to be sharing part 2 of the article series that I wrote a little over a week ago. However, not had the time to create video presentations of this article series until now. As you listen to this article being read, and questions come to mind, please send those questions to me. All questions are good questions. In the event that you'd like to leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. You may do so through the comment section here on YouTube. Let me read the article. Mindfulness and Serenity, Part 2. If you've not already read or watched Part 1 of this article, Mindfulness and Serenity, I would really encourage you to do so, as I explain things in Part 1 that are further explained in Part 2 of this article and video presentation. The time wound down for the meeting to start, so we ended our conversation, my trusted friend and myself. I went into the meeting just as it was starting. The topic presented was humility in the context of the seventh step. Humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings. After the person introduced the topic, each person in the room was given an opportunity to share from their experience, strength, and hope on the topic of the seventh step. When the time came for me to share, I shared what I shared with you in Part 1 of this article series. Through processing why I was out of sorts, and therefore being in the intent to learn, by inventorying what I had been going through in my life, speaking with my friend before the meeting, attending the meeting, listening to people share from their experience, strength, and hope, sharing the events that led up to my awareness of being depressed during the meeting, and then speaking to several friends after the meeting, I was able to reorient myself to what is really important. Through being in the intent to learn, I was able to be present in my life and move beyond my pain because of my pain. Through being in the intent to learn, I found myself empowered. Through being in the intent to learn instead of in the intent to protect, I was reminded of several realities. When I invest emotionally in outcomes beyond doing the footwork, I set myself up to be distracted and depressed. By doing the footwork and letting go and letting God be in the outcomes, I find serenity. Through being willing to learn from my discomfort, I see beyond my discomfort. Through being willing to learn from my discomfort, I am able to get out of my own way. Through being willing to learn, I am able to once again embrace what is important to me. Through being willing to learn, I am able to surrender. The process that I worked through and shared in this two-part article series has helped me to surrender to the notion of having control. I am powerless over outcomes and timing. The process that I worked through helped me to once again realize that I do not want my will to be done, but the will of a loving God. To be in sync with a loving God's will and timing for my life. No holds barred, to a T. Additionally, I want my relationships to be in line with what He wants to accomplish in and through each of these relationships. I want to be mindful of His leading and guidance. What I shared in this two-part article series reminded me of what is ultimately important. Remaining humble, mindful, and present for the will of a loving God to be done in my life and my relationships. Again, what I shared in this two-part article series reminded me of what is ultimately important. Remaining humble, mindful, and present for the will of a loving God to be done in my life and in my relationships. Epilogue. Through my recovery process, I discovered that I had a faulty understanding of the word and concept of humility for many years. For many years, I confused humility with humiliation. In my understanding, I thought being humble meant admitting that I made mistakes. Because for many years I did not feel that I just made mistakes, but that I was a mistake, I linked humility with humiliation. My linkage hindered my ability to embrace the power offered by humility. Thank God that I learned the distinction between humility and humiliation. Several years ago, I wrote a two-part article to share what helped me to tap into the power of humility, as well as to recognize the undermining and insidious nature of humiliation. Below is a link to part 1 and part 2 of the article series that I wrote. Please read the two-part article series and let me know if what I share in the article series helps you. Thank you. This two-part article series is Empowering Your Life, the difference between humility and humiliation. I really encourage you to watch this, and also I have created a video presentation series of this particular two-part series. The article is among one of my more widely read article series. I will say so long for now, but before I do, let me encourage you with this. Please do not give up on yourself, a loving God, or your process, my friend, because more will be revealed to us in time. The pieces of the puzzle will come together in the correct order and at the right time. I'll say so long for now. Have a great day, and God bless both you and your family. So long now.